Oprah Gail Winfrey entered the world on January 29, 1954, in the small rural town of Kosciuszko. Life there was simple but extremely hard, especially for families struggling with poverty. Her mother, Vernita Lee, was a young domestic worker trying to survive on very little. Oprah's father, Vernon Winfrey, served in the military and was not present during her early childhood. For the first years of her life, Oprah was raised by her grandmother, Hattie Mae Lee, on a modest farm. Money was scarce, but discipline and faith were constant. Oprah wore simple homemade clothes and helped with chores most children her age never had to think about. Yet those early years planted an unexpected seed. Her grandmother insisted she learn to read very young, often using the Bible. By the age of 3, Oprah was already discovering that words could open doors far beyond the small world around her. Discovering the power of words. Reading quickly became Oprah's refuge. Books introduced her to possibilities that felt worlds away from the limitations of her surroundings. At church gatherings, she recited verses and spoke confidently, surprising adults who saw a spark in the quiet child. Her grandmother encouraged that gift, believing education was the strongest path forward. Even though life was strict and sometimes demanding, Oprah later credited those years with giving her a foundation of discipline and faith. Stories, speeches, and language fascinated her. While other children played games, Oprah often preferred reading aloud or imagining herself on a stage speaking to an audience. These moments may have seemed small at the time, but they revealed a talent that would later define her life. Long before the cameras, long before the fame, there was simply a young girl discovering that her voice could hold attention and her words could carry meaning. A difficult transition to the city. When Oprah was 6 years old, her life changed dramatically. She moved to Milwaukee to live with her mother. The transition from rural life to a busy city environment was overwhelming. Her mother worked long hours, leaving Oprah often in the care of relatives or neighbors. The stability she once had was suddenly replaced by uncertainty. School became the place where she felt safest and most recognized. Teachers quickly noticed her intelligence and ability to communicate ideas clearly. Even when life outside the classroom felt confusing, inside school she found encouragement. Oprah later said that education became her anchor during those years. It was where she felt seen and valued. The experience also strengthened her determination to build a different future. Despite the difficulties of adjusting to a new environment, she held tightly to the belief that learning could lead her somewhere better. A turning point in Nashville. During her teenage years, Oprah moved again, this time to Nashville to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey. His home was structured and disciplined. Rules were clear, and education was non-negotiable. Every week, Oprah had to read books and write reports, which sharpened her thinking and strengthened her communication skills. Though strict, this environment provided the stability she needed. At school, she began joining debate teams and drama activities, discovering how powerful it felt to speak before an audience. Teachers noticed her natural talent and encouraged her to pursue it. For the first time, Oprah started to imagine a career connected to communication and storytelling. The structure of her father's household combined with her growing confidence created a turning point. The teenager who once struggled to find her place was now beginning to realize she might have something unique to offer the world. A first step into broadcasting. Oprah's big break came while she was still a teenager. At 16, she won a public speaking contest sponsored by the local radio station WVOL Radio. The station recognized her talent and offered her a part-time job reading the news. For Oprah, stepping into that studio and speaking into a microphone was life-changing. She wasn't just telling stories anymore, she was reaching listeners across the city. The job also helped support her education and build confidence in her abilities. Soon she enrolled at Tennessee State University, studying speech and drama while continuing to work in radio. Balancing classes and professional responsibilities was demanding, but Oprah embraced the challenge. She realized that communication, connecting with people through stories and ideas, was where she truly belonged. The small radio job marked the beginning of a path that would eventually transform television. Finding her true voice in Chicago. Oprah's defining breakthrough arrived when she moved to Chicago in 1984 to host a struggling morning talk program called AM Chicago. Few expected the show to succeed. It had low ratings and strong competition from established hosts like Phil Donahue. But something remarkable happened almost immediately. Oprah's style was different. Instead of maintaining distance from her guests, she listened deeply and responded with genuine empathy. Viewers felt as if they were part of an honest conversation rather than watching a performance. Within months, the show's ratings soared. In 1986, it was relaunched nationally as The Oprah Winfrey Show. The program soon became the most watched talk show in America, a position it would hold for decades. Oprah had discovered that authenticity, simply being herself, was her greatest strength. Building a media empire success on television gave Oprah an opportunity few entertainers had ever pursued: ownership. She founded Harpo Productions, becoming not only the host of her show, but also its producer and owner. This decision transformed her from a television personality into a business leader. Harpo expanded into film, publishing, and other media ventures. She later launched the Oprah magazine, which quickly became one of the most successful magazine launches in history. By 2003, Oprah reached another historic milestone when she became the first Black female billionaire recognized by Forbes. Her influence extended far beyond entertainment. Authors, activists, and entrepreneurs found their work amplified after appearing on her platform. What began as a talk show had grown into a media empire shaped by her vision and leadership, using influence to inspire change. As her platform grew, Oprah began using it to address deeper social issues. She openly discussed topics that were rarely talked about on daytime television, encouraging honest conversations about personal challenges and resilience. Her advocacy reached beyond television when she supported the National Child Protection Act. She also invested heavily in education initiatives. One of her most meaningful projects was the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, established in 2007. The academy was created to provide quality education and leadership opportunities for young women who might not otherwise have access to them. Oprah often described the students there as part of her extended family. For her, success was no longer just about personal achievement. It was about using influence to create opportunities for others who needed them. Challenges and new ventures. Even after decades of success, Oprah continued exploring new directions. In 2011, she ended her legendary talk show and launched Oprah Winfrey Network in partnership with Discovery Communications. The network faced early challenges as it tried to find its identity in a competitive media landscape. Over time, however, new programming helped the network grow and stabilize. Oprah remained actively involved, guiding its direction while also expanding her presence in film, streaming platforms, and interviews with global leaders and cultural icons. Her willingness to take risks, even after decades of achievement, showed her commitment to evolving rather than staying comfortable. For someone who had already built a remarkable career, continuing to innovate demonstrated the same determination that had guided her from the very beginning. Legacy beyond fame. Today, Oprah Winfrey is widely regarded as one of the most influential media figures in modern history. Her journey from a modest childhood in Mississippi to global recognition reflects resilience, ambition, and the power of storytelling. She transformed daytime television, created opportunities for countless voices, and invested heavily in education and philanthropy. Yet Oprah often emphasizes that her proudest achievements are not awards or financial success, but the lives she has helped uplift along the way. Her story reminds people that personal challenges do not have to define the future. Instead, they can become motivation to build something meaningful. Oprah's legacy continues to inspire millions around the world, proving that determination, empathy, and a belief in one's voice can change not only a life, but an entire culture.